Welcome to Sergeant Sue on the mic, Airmen's Journey in the Air National Guard. I'm your host, Sergeant Sue, and this is the podcast where we sit down with real airmen and have real conversation. So,
come see us, get inspired, aim high, fly, fight, win, get to know the Air National Guard. Write your story, earn that key. Come see us, get inspired.
now we are recording our very first episode of our first podcast for the 145th Air National Guard. How do you feel?
Man, I'm excited to be here. This is exciting.
It's very exciting.
Yeah, the first one.
The first one. So this is our tester. We got our water bottles with our koozies on there. You got your intergalactic belt.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, so the Recruiting and Retention Galactic Champion belt is something that was developed by the management team for our recruiting team, and it's designed to be passed around to outstanding performing recruiters. And I was lucky enough to get it for this quarter.
Nice. Mm-hmm. My man.
I'm just trying to be like you.
Did you pay somebody to...
I didn't pay anybody.
You sure?
I didn't pay
the
anybody.
Boss?
Nope.
Okay, because I didn't get any money.
Well, yeah, I didn't get any money either. You know what I'm saying?
You know what we forgot to do is introduce ourselves.
You know, I feel like that happened when we were trying to do what was it? The trailer.
The trailer to the pilot.
The pilot episode. We did that.
So my name is Tech Sergeant Christian Suchite, or everybody calls me Sergeant Sue. And then we have...
I'm Technical Sergeant Jackson. Everybody just calls me Sergeant Jackson. Some people call me JJ.
J-Dog. J-Dizzle.
Yeah, I'm just Sergeant Jackson. That's it. Nothing crazy.
Nothing crazy. My last name is a little crazy. It's Suchite, so that's why that's why it's only Sergeant Sue. Some people have a hard time pronouncing it, which is understandable. It's okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna have some last names out here that are difficult, more difficult than mine.
Oh yeah, you definitely see that a lot in the military. There's people with all kinds of names because people come from all types of backgrounds.
Like our coworker.
Yes, all of them.
Yes, all of them.
Even the ones you think are simple, people add an S to her name, right?
Yeah. Abrams.
Yeah. Oh, it happens to Frankie too. They go Struthers. Like
Struthers.
It's just, okay.
We have a Konarski.
Chinaka. Wastenberg. People call it Wustenberger.
And that's just people in the recruiting team.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Lonnie ever tell you about someone that calls him Lionel?
Lionel? Wait, what did Ski call him one time? Ronnie? No, not Ronnie.
Oh, Ronnie's the one today. Ronnie's one he gets.
No, Looney. We wrote it on an email. He's like, hey, Sergeant Looney.
It's so true. Yeah. So yeah, even the simple names, I guess you're right.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's nice to have a unique name.
Yeah, unique name, so a little bit memorable.
Yep.
So let's go to the name of the podcast. So it's Sue on the mic.
Sue's on the mic.
Yeah, Sue's on the mic. We're still working on the intro musical thing. I had it, then I lost it. Then
no.
I liked it, but I think it needs to be a little bit more, memorable.
Oh, you didn't think what we were listening to was memorable?
Yeah. The Air National Guard, come fly with me.
That wasn't the one.
Oh, was it?
No.
What was the one?
Oh, shoot. Now I forgot. Now that you say that, I forget, man. Oh, gosh, you lost it.
Did you lose it?
What was it? It was somebody in the parking lot.
Oh, military style in the parking lot.
Yeah, man, remember that? It was like...
You get your education benefits with us.
I don't remember the lyrics, man.
Oh, yeah, I don't remember.
But it was fire, man. I was like, hey, I like this one.
The beat was good.
Yeah, it was a good beat. Yeah, it was like, remember it dropped it like military style in the parking lot, and it was like this snappy like pop. I liked it a lot. Yeah.
Like that?
No, it wasn't like that. It's all right.
Yeah.
We'll keep working on it.
We are going to keep working on it. But we are also on the corner of Enlisted Drive. I don't know if the camera can see it, but I will show you guys later. Enlisted Drive and Hercules Avenue.
Yeah.
So we could say something in those effects, but we'll see.
Well,
Still
one of the
working on it.
aircraft we used to have was the C-130, the H, the Hercs. So that's where that comes from.
Mm-hmm.
Enlisted drive? I don't know. Enlisted drives the force.
They do. They do all the work. They do all the work.
That's right. And the NCOs are the backbone, right?
Yeah. So the whole purpose of this podcast is to bring everybody into the world of the 145th Air National Guard here in North Carolina. We're talking to airmen that has just enlisted. We're talking to airmen that's been here for 30 plus years that are about to retire. So we just want to have a conversation and see how their experience has been, and of course to see if it brings a light to the civilian world and give an idea of what we actually do here in the Air National Guard. We're part-time, we're different from the reserve, we are definitely different from the active duty Air Force, and we're also going to be talking to people who have come through from active duty, from the reserve, from different branches like the Marines, Navy, and Army. So I'm pretty excited about this podcast, and I hope you are too. And we're gonna start with Sergeant Jackson, or JJ. JJ. I don't call him JJ that often. Hey, Sergeant Jackson. Anyways, we're gonna start with him, and he's gonna tell us why he enlisted in the first place.
Man, that's the first question, like right off the bat?
Yeah.
Right off the bat. Why did
Right
I
off the
enlist?
bat.
Why did I enlist? Well, first off, let me just say, for those listening and watching, the views and opinions expressed here are exclusively those of mine. It is not necessarily a representation of the Department of War, the Department of the Air Force, the Air National Guard, or the recruiting team or the Air Force Recruiting Service, right? But yeah, just in my own words, it was actually kind of a selfish reason, right? Realistically, and I will say, my years of recruiting, I learned that a lot of people, that's where their journey starts, right? It is a selfish reason. I don't want to make the story long, but in short, the job that I had at the time that I enlisted in the Air National Guard, I interacted with a lot of veterans. And they just explained to me how great of an opportunity serving was, which I realized that as a mortgage loan officer, right? The veterans that I was working with were, first of all, purchasing houses with no money down. Right?
VA home loan.
Yeah, VA, ridiculous. The ones that we were doing refinances for, they were doing streamlined refinances, right? So it's like no documents, no appraisal, no additional credit check, just you want a lower interest rate, boom.
We got you.
Right? But what really captured my eye were the people that I was helping out that just by sheer volume of doing, permanent change of stations, PCS, they had multiple properties. So they were now real estate investors. Every time they go to a new duty station, they were buying another house.
Yeah, why not?
It was just so, man, I was just like, I could do that. I was like 27, 28-ish, and I was like, I could join the military. I was like, yeah, piece of cake. And of course, the more people I talked to, they all said, yes, best decision I made in my life. If I could do it all over again, I would.
Dang,
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I got steered to, well, if you're going to do it, go Air Force.
Yes, it's the easier branch. No, not the easier branch. It is, you have to have some smarts.
Yep.
You already had some education in you, right?
I did.
Which is not required to have a bachelor's degree to join, but, that was your path.
Yeah, it helps.
Yeah, you went from 18, finishing high school, to going to college, and then the realization of, wow, the veterans are really making bank.
Yeah.
Let me get in on it.
Oh, yeah.
I want some of that.
Yeah, like if you think about it, and I had a really, really good job. I made decent money. But any person that's out there working knows you make a lot of money on paper, and then once you really put into the bank, oh my gosh,
So
after everything is taxed, especially being in a commission and bonus based job, it gets taxed higher. You know what I'm saying? So that, man, it sucked. It sucked. It sucked. And and I did everything that the world told you to do. You know what I'm saying? I went to college. I got a great degree. You know,
Got a
I got a
job.
necktie job. You know what I'm saying? I work in an office. I'm doing sales. I'm doing financial sales. Like everything that looked great on the outside was amazing, but I was so unfulfilled, and I never realized that serving was actually what I was missing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, something outside of yourself. Service before others.
Yeah, and this is crazy.
No,
And like
service before self.
service before self.
Well,
yeah.
not service before others. That was before.
Yeah.
After service before self.
Service,
Okay.
service before self.
Service before self.
But what's interesting about it is, you know, if you would have asked 18-year-old Jason Jackson, hey man, are you gonna ever join the military and get in? I would have told you, hell no. No, right? Because there's this perception or stereotype of the people that serve, right? Oh, they didn't have any other options, or you know, they can't figure out what to do with their life, or you're like,
They're broke.
right, which is
They're getting in
insane.
trouble and they don't want to go to jail.
Right. Like, who came up with this idea? You know what I'm saying? And it was more and more that I realized as I was, as a working professional adult, it was like, yo, it was actually the military service member that had their ish together.
More than the civilians, right?
You know
Which
what
we're
I'm
not
saying?
knocking on civilians, of course. You know, we're just better and everything. No, I'm just kidding. I'm playing.
We all start out as citizens, especially here. We are citizen airmen.
We
right?
are citizen
we
airmen.
know how to, we know what it's like to be a civilian and make that transition. But no, man, like realistically, it was so eye opening
Yeah,
to
that's
see
good.
like how amazing it was. And then
So, how do you feel like at age 27 going into basic training? Because I enlisted at age 25, and the same reason you have, for selfish reasons, the same thing. I wanted to get my education. I didn't have no bachelor's degree at 25, so I was like, I'm not gonna go into debt, 40, 50, 60, $80,000 into debt just to get a piece of paper saying, hey, you're smart enough to get a job.
Right.
I was like, I've been working since I was like 16, so I was like, no, I'm not gonna get an education, get into super like large amounts of debt. Let the government pay for it. I'm paying enough taxes. I want the government to pay for it. Another one. So these are three reasons, right?
Right.
My second reason was I want a skill. I want a skill that can transfer to the civilian side.
Yeah.
I want something that I learned that I could do for 6 years, and then I go apply for a job, and they're like, "Yeah, we'll take you. You know how to do that in the military? Yeah, we definitely want
Right.
you." So that's the second reason. The third reason is I wanted a bonus, which most people say, "Hey, I want to come in, but I'm gonna come in with a bonus."
Right. I want a bonus job.
Yeah, I want a bonus job. So I did come in with a bonus because I specifically said I wanted a bonus. I don't know what I did with that money, but that bonus was gone.
That's the way it goes.
Yeah, that's the way it
You
goes.
didn't get a fancy car?
I didn't get a fancy car, man. I think I just paid debt or something. Or took a trip somewhere. I don't know. But those are the three main reasons I joined. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to do my 6 years, take what I can from the government or from Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
You know, best uncle in my life. But take what I can from Uncle Sam. And then from there, just be a civilian again.
Right.
But then after like 3 or 4 years, I was like, man, I'm really enjoying this. I enjoy the people. Like, I was in the Air Reserve first in Pope Army Airfield, and they closed down. That's why I'm here in Charlotte, Air National Guard Base. But man, I love the people, which I love the people here too. Like the trips that they took me. I was in Puerto Rico. I went to California twice. They sent me everywhere, man. It was awesome in the 4 years that I was there. But yeah, then I'm stuck at 14 and a half years now. No one's counting, but 14 and a half, right?
So it was the best part-time job you ever had?
Oh, best part-time. For 9 years, it was part-time. And then I became full-time, and that's not the best. No, I'm just kidding. Now I'm a recruiter, and I love it. I love it even more, right?
Right.
Because I get to spread the news to people, and I get to do this and talk to you, especially in your experience, and hopefully talk to more people and learn about their experiences.
Well, I think what's so cool about what you're doing with this too is that there's such a broad range of experiences as well that, you know, so many people have. Everybody has a different experience. It's not a cookie cutter like process. Nobody has a cookie cutter career. You know, your career takes all kinds of zigs and zags, and you really never know where the heck you end up at.
Exactly.
It's
And then
crazy.
that's what we're going to talk about in this podcast. To every airman here and see where their path started and where they're finishing at.
It's like
or
Urban
where
in the
they're
Sky.
hoping they're gonna finish that. Right?
That's right, for the new ones that show up. It's like, this is what I want to do.
I'm gonna be a commander. All right, hold on, sir. You're an airman basic right now. You need to slow your roll, get your education.
Right. Yeah.
Pass your PT test, okay?
Let's start with the basics.
Yeah, start with the basics.
Start with the basic stuff, you know. Get through basic training. Speaking of which, you did ask me about basic training. It was, so when I finally actually made the decision to get in, I went to the recruiter's office. I was 28. So I started my process at 28. I finally left for basic when I was 29 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Enlisted at 27, 29.
No, I enlisted at 29.
Oh, 29.
Yeah, I enlisted at 29. It was 28 when I finally, it's a process. Mm-hmm. Everybody, for those of you out there watching, listening, it's very rare to show up in a recruiter's office on Wednesday and then leave to go to basic training on the Thursday. Right? Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Very rare.
It is a process. You got to understand it is a process. From your ASVAB testing to getting through medical, which I got through all that easily. I did some studying for the ASVAB because I wanted to make sure I scored well, right? Because again, I had guidance, right, from people that have been there before me. Say, hey, make sure you do well on the test. You know, I was like, all right, let me study up a little bit because I haven't done high school work in a long time at that point, right? Mm-hmm. And then it was a matter of making a decision on picking up a job. So it took me about a week to make a decision on what was going to make the most sense. But anyway, I went to basic training at 29 years old, and believe it or not, I was not the oldest person there.
What?
Yep.
Who was the oldest person?
The oldest person was 38 in my flight, in my basic training flight.
That's pretty old.
Yeah, he was 38. He was like dorm chief. There was another guy that was
he's
34. Yeah.
And
then I was the next oldest person. And the guys call me Pops.
Oh Lord, not Unc?
Not Unc.
Oh no, that's the now.
Yeah, that's the new generation now.
10 years ago, it was Pop.
Yeah, it was like, Pops. Like, what, Pops? It was like, I'm 29. Like, yeah, but you're like an old soul. You Pops. Yeah, okay. That's cool.
Oh man, so what year was that?
I left for basic in 2015.
2015.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I left in 2011, November.
Woo!
And I went to basic end of February.
Yeah.
In Texas.
It was cold, right?
From Miami. So I'm in this flannel and shorts on the bus thinking, oh, it's Texas. It's going to be hot. No. Mid-February in Texas was freezing. And that's that one time in basic training because they had us standing in front of our dorms. We were all there and I'm shivering.
Yep.
And that's when it crossed my mind. That little voice in my head that says, what in the world are you doing? Why are you doing this? This is horrible. I don't want to be here right now. Because they had us waiting for like 45 minutes in the freezing cold. And I had this, in Miami, you have these light, thin flannel, not flannel, what are they, like Hawaiian shirts?
Oh, yeah.
It was very thin. And I was wearing shorts, like I was going to the beach, You
thought you were going on vacation.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, yeah, we're going camping.
I'm going to go work out.
Oh.
I'm going to get yelled at.
Right.
So, yeah, that was rough.
Yeah.
That was rough, man. But then the rest of the basic training was pretty fun. Well, fun and stressful and lack of sleep and
right. But you get
following
adjusted to
instructions.
It.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, honestly, I think during basic training, you get some of the best sleep ever in your life.
Yeah, because you're so exhausted.
Yeah.
You're so exhausted, you're like...
Right? Lights out at 2100 every night.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I can't wait to put my head on the pillow.
No, I was element leader. So I was checking all the lockers because if not, I get in trouble. But I would wake people up in the middle of the night, 10, 11. Be like, because I'm checking all the lockers. And I'm like, if you don't fix your locker, then I'm going to wake you up in the middle of the night. And they used to be so mad.
What?
Yeah, I know.
They're supposed to get that squared away before you go to bed.
Yeah, they forget a little thing.
Oh,
I was very meticulous.
Man.
Yeah, it was like one of the lapels was like this on the hanger. I'm like, I could have fixed it, but I was kind of like, you gonna fix it. I remember one time this guy was sleeping like face up. And then I grabbed his shoulder. He was like, and he was like trying to grab me. I was like, oh my God, I'm sorry. Hey, it's okay. I'll fix it. Go back to sleep. One time I got scared.
Man, you could have gotten in trouble. You're not supposed to be up at night,
Yeah, but I was the element leader. I was ensuring my troops are good.
The best part, I don't even want to say best. I guess it is. The funniest part about, I think, being an element leader is when you get screamed at for dumb things that other airmen in the flight were doing.
Oh,
right?
Man.
It's like, it's your fault.
Yeah.
What?
I ain't do nothing. You're next to him. Get down on the ground.
Right.
I got to do push-ups because I was smiling. I'm a smiler, so when I talk, I smile. When I get nervous, I smile. When I'm angry, I smile. I don't know what it is. I just like smiling. But yeah, he's like, what's so funny? I was like, I smile when I'm nervous. He's like, what? So I confused the MTI. So he's like, what?
Right.
Get out of here.
You confuse the MTI, you're automatically doing push-ups. It's like, I got tools for you. I screamed at an MTI once. Not
You did?
Not in a way, not in an aggressive, like, I'm angry way.
You just raised your voice?
Yeah, I raised my voice. Because, he comes in there, he was this short guy. Sergeant Fisher, I never forget his name too, man. He was just always yelling, always angry, sarcastic, right? And he was complaining about some training in there, and he's screaming out, who's the element leader? And I ran up there, position of attention, got in his face, yelled that I was the element leader. Or he's like, Training Jackson, why are you screaming at me? And I was like, sir, I was just matching your tone.
I'm trying to match what you're giving me.
Right. He didn't say anything after that, but everyone's like, you yelled at him. I was like,
I'm 29, man. He's like 20. I can yell at him. No, just kidding. No, don't yell at your TIs, MTIs. Don't yell at him. Just follow instructions. You'll be just fine.
Yeah.
You know.
Now they do. I think what's awesome about Air Force basic training is that obviously you're getting yelled at. Usually they're yelling at the entire collective, right? Just to make sure everybody gets the message. But you're learning how to function within a unit, right? As a team. Nobody should be failing. It takes everybody, right? In order to accomplish, basic training. You're not the only one going through the crap that's happening in basic.
Oh yeah.
It's not that hard. It's not that hard. But eventually, right, you goes from I need to give you instruction to I need to help mentor you to become an airman in the Air Force, which I think is cool about it.
Yeah. No, so speaking about mentoring and mentorship, now you are in the recruiting team, right? And what is your current role now?
Yeah, so right now I'm the Training and Evaluation Non-Commissioned Officer. My role and responsibility is to ensure that the entire recruiting team maintains their certification and qualifications to be recruiters.
Awesome. And before that, you were a recruiter?
Yep. Before that, I was a recruiter. Yep.
And more specifically,
I was a health professions recruiter. So I handle all the medical professionals.
And then when you met me as what do they call it? Green behind the ear?
When you were a rookie recruiter?
When I was a rookie recruiter.
You were a rookie recruiter. I was barely an experienced recruiter at that point.
And you were already doing the training and evaluation, right? When I got there.
Yeah.
You didn't even know you were going to be a trainer, did you?
No, I did not. Yeah, when you joined the team, I think I'd been a recruiter at that point, 2.5 years, something like that. It was nice to have a guy on the team. Yeah, when I became a production recruiter, it was an all-female team, you know? So I was just me and the ladies.
Yeah, getting yelled at.
Right.
Oh, God. What did I
yelled at, man. And, when we transitioned to the new, there was one person was a flight chief when I joined, and, there was obviously promotions, retirements, all that stuff happens, right? So naturally people move on. So I became a rookie recruiter in a training status with a brand new flight chief that's also training on how to become a flight chief, plus we were the only guys. So
what do we do?
Man, I got roped into doing literally everything, but I just wanted to be successful, right?
Yeah,
and
of course.
And of course, our flight chief at the time, he was like literally one of the nation's top producing recruiters. You know what I'm saying? So whatever he was saying, I got, yep.
I'm going to do it.
I'm doing that.
Yep.
I'm doing that.
You tell me to do it, I'll do it.
I want to be where you are, But man, he would just drag me like, we're going to go do this, or we're going to do that. It's like, well, what about them?
No, they're ladies. No, just kidding. No, they still got to put in their work, which they did. All the ladies did
Yeah, the
reach
ladies
goal
did
and
a job.
surpass goal by a lot.
Yeah,
So
they
the
did a
recruit
great
team was
job.
good back in the day, right?
Yeah. Oh man, I feel like we've always had great recruiters, in North Carolina. Man, we've always had good team, good
Well,
people to mentor.
some recruits might think differently.
Yeah. Some recruits may think differently. You know.
But that's because we're busy. We're trying to take care of everybody,
Right.
and sometimes we stretch ourselves way too thin.
Yeah.
But let's go back to being a mentorship. Remember the first thing you told me?
Yes.
When you were becoming a instructor and a mentor to a freshly rookie recruiter.
Well, if I recall, because you do bring this up sometimes, right? About how I would tell you, hey, I'm going to show you what not to do.
What? How does this make sense?
Right,
You're
right.
going to confuse me.
There's a correct way to do things. There's a way to do things like exactly by the book, but I'm going to show you some fast ways to get some stuff done because at the end of the day, you got to produce. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, production. You get evaluated by production.
Yes.
Production is your evaluation.
Yeah.
So sometimes you gotta, get there quicker than normal.
Right. And all that means is that, obviously there are processes and steps in place for what you're supposed to do it right. Now, again, I would like to give you disclosure. It wasn't anything illegal.
Oh, yeah. It wasn't
nothing
none of that.
unethical. You're not lie to recruits. We don't lie to people.
Yeah.
Right. We tell them the truth.
What is that? Public service announcement?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I gotta make sure. I like to put
Nobody's
out
getting
PSAs.
Hellcats. Nobody's getting houses.
Right.
We're not gonna get
No lies. What I mean about the short is processes. Shortcuts.
the paperwork stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm coming from aircraft maintenance to engineering assistant to recruiting, and none of that before recruiting was paperwork. None of it. It was just hands-on stuff. With EA or engineering assistant, we did a couple of computer things, but it was more like doing drawings and stuff like that on CAD. But I never did paperwork, and the paperwork kicked my butt, man.
Yeah.
It was tough.
Yeah.
It was
Processing
tough.
paperwork is no joke. I never forget in my interview when I was interviewing to become a recruiter, one of the questions that they asked, they just wanted to know if I had any skill in Microsoft Office programs. I was so confused. I was like, yes. Obviously.
Yeah.
I did not realize the sheer volume of everything Microsoft, PDF,
Excel, Adobe.
Dude,
Yes.
it is a lot.
It is a lot. It is a lot. And the processing going from I meet you, I talk to you over the phone, to enlistment, there's so many documents, so many steps that needs to be done.
Yeah.
And then, so I will never forget that because it confused me so much. I'm like, this is what not to do? I'm going to show you what to do later, but this is what not to do. And this is what will get you the answer.
Right. Don't do this, man. This is how you're going to get to where you need to be faster, but don't do this.
Yeah. And then he would always be like, I would always ask him a question, and then he would be like, well, what do you think? I'm like, I just need the answer so I can get the job done. I just need it right now. He's like, no, I can't give you the answer. I'm not going to, you got to learn yourself. I'm like, oh my God.
Right. But
just help me, please.
But looking back though, right? Looking back now, right? You've been in recruiting, 7 years or so, right? 6 years?
2020.
Yeah. So now that you see newer recruiters, what is your perspective on how?
So I feel like asking the right questions so they could find out the answer for themselves. What did you say the other day to me? Invoke the answer? Ask the right question. Well, something about asking the right question. I don't know. It was
We talk a lot.
very, very smart.
I probably was not.
I was like, man, is this a theologian? What?
No.
I don't know if
I'm
I'm
not
that
as
so.
smart as you give me credit for. Absolutely not.
Well, I was trying to quote him, but I forgot the quote.
Hey, that sounds good. Invoke the answer.
Invoke the answer. You ask the right questions to get the right answer, which I do sometimes with the recruiters when they have a question. But sometimes when I see them rushing, they're like, "Hey, what is this? Because I need help with this real quick." But like, okay, yeah, it's easy.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes you need to invoke the answer.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I like that.
Invoke the answer. Now you quote me.
I'm gonna quote you. It's like, what's that quote? I'm gonna start using that. Hey, you know that quote? Invoke the answer. You gotta invoke the answer, man. You know what I'm saying? Yes.
Oh yeah. So recruiting's fun. But now, let's go away from recruiting and let's talk a little bit more about you. Comparing your civilian life,
Yeah.
right? You're from 17 or 18, I don't know when you started the workforce, till 29. That portion of your life, that's what, 10, 11, 12 years,
Yeah.
to now being in the military for what, 10 years? What's the biggest difference that you've seen, and what do you value the most out of that experience from the contrast?
Yeah, that's a good answer. So I would say this: you're still pretty much who you are.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Even when you go through that process of, you know, going to basic training and you get through tech school and you're in this very like rigorous training environment of becoming an airman, you're still who you are. It does expose some weaknesses, right, that you don't realize that you have. Most people want to join the military to get discipline and things like that. It's definitely going to show you how undisciplined you are. And then from there, you got to figure out, well, how do I become a better manager of my time? Like, how do I become a better, you know, leader of other individuals? You're always put into situations where you may not always have the answer, and you got to figure out how to get the answer, you know, how to provide that answer to people, how to know where to find answers as well. Right?
That's the biggest thing. I think that they taught us
Yes.
where to find the answer. Not everybody knows everything at all times.
Exactly.
So where to look for what you need.
Yep. So I think that's huge. But that was.
They don't teach that in the civilian side? I don't think so.
Nah.
I think in the civilian side, they teach you more how to follow orders, how to follow instructions, how to do things their way.
Yeah.
And the things that I've heard before, because I was in the civilian side till like 2020, basically, right? So they would say, just follow how we do it. This is how we normally do it. We've done this the whole time, or we've been doing this for the last 5 years. Why are you going to change it? It's like, well, there's no innovation that way. There's no listening to your employees on how to better the company if it's a small company, or even if it's a big company, right?
Right.
But I'm thinking bigger companies, maybe in big corporations, they have these standards and procedures for a reason, so everybody stays in line. There's no changes. Everybody's just doing what they're supposed to.
Yeah.
Here, I think there's a little bit of more innovation. We do have to follow instructions, have to follow regulations, but I think this allows us to innovate a little bit more, especially in the Air Force, right?
Yes.
We have a program where if you have an idea, you send it up to NGB or which is National Guard Bureau, and they review your modification or your idea, and then they can implement it.
Yeah.
So anything that we have, or our word, or our what we say matters a little bit. You know?
It really does. And I think that's what's so cool, because we really do listen to people that are executing the mission and doing the job. You know, as much as we do like to think, oh, you're in the military, your job isn't just follow orders. Yes, that's true. But we figure out how to be problem solvers more than anything, right? When we're hit with challenges, we have to figure out how to execute, because at the end of the day, we still have a mission and objective that we got to achieve. You know, there's a lot of weird things that happen in the civilian side. You know, it's just it is what it is. I work for a company that got into a lot of trouble, a lot of trouble, like big time trouble. And I remember, as I moved through different divisions of the company, I would get phone calls from all these investigators, and they want to know about different processes that we had and things that we would do that, you know, may have been legal, may have been illegal, etc. And as a brand new like college graduate going into my first job, you know, you just did whatever you were told to do.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, if you don't follow instruction and follow direction, you just get fired, right? And now you're worried about your livelihood. That doesn't happen here. In this side, it's like you do what you're told to do. Now, if you don't do what you're told to do, like we got to have this whole entire
remedial training.
right. We're gonna get you where you need to be.
Why are you not understanding? Let me help you.
Right. The civilian side is like, all right, run you up, fire you. Like, bye.
Yeah, we'll find somebody
else. We're
else.
gonna find somebody else. We're literally gonna replace you.
Yeah, at least here in the Air Guard or in the Air Force, we cultivate people. Our focus is to build people to be better assets for the Air Force, right? And if that means character building, knowledge, skill based, whatever it is, we are cultivating that person to be the best that they can be. So when they're the best for the Air Force or the Air National Guard, specifically for us.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So talking about you going to school and stuff, you already paid for your education. What benefits have you taken advantage of in the Air National Guard?
Oh man, that's a good question.
That's a wrap. Another episode of Sergeant Sue on the mic, Airman's Journey in the Air National Guard. I'm your host, Sergeant Sue, and I'll see you on the next episode.
It's your moment, time to fly. Come see us.